TransWorld Medical Center. Come on in and check it out. This has been a long time coming. We've had this rig for, let's see, 2002-3 now. And you can see this is where we come in, look at all the patient charts, which is all confidential, of course. Won't show you that. But once you come in here, this is where kind of the action happens. This is where we take care of everybody. You can see we have a slide out bed here, have our second bed here, third bed in the back, and cardiac monitors on each side. These are the kind of things you want to have if somebody's hurt, but luckily we don't have to use them a lot. There's a defibrillator over here. So pretty much full service of everything we can do kind of in your doctor's office or in the emergency room for the most part. And over on the other side is coming in, you can see our x-ray unit and our ultrasound machine that's been donated by the Caselli Foundation. We really appreciate that. So a lot of things we can do here that you would not want to have at work, but we've got to do it here for these guys to get them back on the road. Well, this was kind of an idea I had when I was in med school, and I was a flagger back in the early Supercross days when I used to race off-road. So I went to med school and told my wife I wanted to work at the races when I got back. So this has been a long kind of coming career that was born out of watching racing when I was just younger. So, but I saw they needed something. It wasn't quite medical care that was like we do now, and people are kind of taken for granted. But before it was just the paramedics who did a great job at the track, but they couldn't really take care of much other than just getting them to the hospital. They couldn't do any work right on them. So here we can do it. Now we got here, I told my wife, hey, I want to do this for fun, and volunteered for about 8 years working all the local San Diego, Anaheim, those kind of races. And finally we ended up with some mules, and then went from there to a smaller rig, and that was in 2000. And then 2003 we got the big rig that we have now. We're just like all the big rigs that travel across the country. So it's been a kind of a slowly developing process, but it's through all the corporations, whether it was the Feld and AMA, MX Sports, all those guys have donated to help out. And now that it started, and Tom Carson, he's number one on my list, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. He's been the iron behind this thing that drives it. He just helps get us here every weekend. There's obviously being on the road, there's a lot of things that go on that can cause problems, and blown out tires or whatever, but he keeps it going. And like I say, the help of all the rest of the industry, we've kept it as to a point now that nobody wants to do without it. So whenever we have concerns that we're not going to make the next budget, somebody always steps up. So it's a labor of love for us, but at the same time it's so rewarding. We wouldn't want it any other way. Well, that's kind of the important part. That was our biggest push, was that the riders know you after a while. And it took a few years, in the early days. I mean, guys are a little more like, who are you and what are you doing? And but now it's the point where I get calls during the week all the time, and like, hey, my rider got hurt in practice, what should we do? And we appreciate that they want to ride, but they don't want to be pushed off and say, yeah, little thing you can't ride. So we try everything we can to get them back out there, and I think they've respected that. And so when it comes down to where we say, it's just dangerous to ride, you shouldn't, they're listening to it. So that with concussions, I mean, that's always a big hurdle. Those guys won't tell you when they've got a concussion, and now I get those calls during the week and say, hey, my rider's knocked out in practice, what should I do? So they know that it's a safety issue, and we keep telling them that their riders are going to have a longer career if they treat themselves right in the first place, and that's kind of helped along with that. Yeah, I mean, the number one on my list, as I mentioned before, is Tom Carson. I mean, we started together when CTI was the first people that stepped up and said, hey, we want to sponsor you, and that's kind of what I was looking for, but I wasn't much of an entrepreneur. And Tom and I got together, him being from CTI and then Asterisk, and he's been the spearhead of everything we've done. He's always helped push it and get to the people we need to know to get us on the road and get us moving. And now it's gone from them to Asterisk was the biggest part that's why their name's on the truck, and it's moving forward now where the sponsors and primarily the promoters are stepping up now and saying, well, we know this is part of the business and we have to have you. And so it makes it a lot better than having to always kind of ask for handouts and things, is that we have a true budget now, and we've got people that are always behind us. Yeah, we saw a need and kind of worked on it, and it was sort of just a dream, and all of a sudden, I look back at almost 23 years I've been doing this, and I remember starting with just a bag running around, and now we have this. So it's definitely it's encouraging, going, well, you can do something like this.